Well, Melly, thank you so much for joining this team Zoom. It's one we've been doing for a very long time. It went from calls to Zooms. Technologies it's picked up. But Melly, you and I are the two longest running distributors in the entire company, and I don't have to really tell you who Melody is. She was the first ambassador with It Works Global. She set the pace around the world initially. She's a big instrument in us going global in several different areas. She is a multimillionaire. Um, She's one of the sweetest, nicest people I know on the planet. She's always bubbly. She's always there, whatever she can do to help you. She always breathes life into people. And Melody, we had a very great time, the best time in the history since you and I have been with It Works Global, Mr. Pentecost, all these years. I want you to come on. We got some great things happening in about a week from tomorrow. Great things are going to start to happen. We're going to lead right into the end of the month, but they're going to give us the plan for next year right now. We're not going to wait till next year like most people do. They want to wait till let's wait till January the 1st to have our New Year's wishes. No, we're going to resolute to attack it now. That's what's kept us ahead of the curve and so solid all these years. So, Melody, come on and share your vision, and maybe you want to tell some people a couple things that we know that I'd rather prefer to hear it from you. So, Melody, come on and share your heart with this team here.
Oh, thank you, Rusty. We do go a pretty good ways back. We've seen this company go from a very small, under the radar company to an explosive, above the radar, where everybody knows who we are. We are just about a household name, but not quite. But we're pretty close to there, thanks to social media. And we've seen this company go from very humble beginnings to what we've got today, and all along the way, I have continued to be excited each and every year, a little more excited, a little more excited, a little more excited. And, we've gone through ups, we've gone through downs. Every company does. There's always going to be ebbs and flows of any network marketing business, and really and truly any business ever, not just network marketing, but brick and mortar businesses. There's not one company, I think, out there in the world today that has stayed on a high and never had low times, but I can say with It Works, we've maybe hit little bumps, but every time we hit a bump, we would go higher, and we'd hit another little bump, but yet we'd go up a little higher. And that's been pretty average for our company. And I hate to use the word average because we're not an average company, and I don't mean it that way. But what I'm saying is that we when we go down, we don't go down much, and we turn right around and come right back, and we go even higher. And so I'm excited for where we are as a company right now. I love the direction that we're headed into. We got started with that body wrap, the ultimate body applicator. It was the most magical product ever. To have a product like that that just blew everybody else out of the water. Nobody still to this day has a product like that. And we can't forget the power of that product. That product is still a viable product. I just had a wrap on today, running around doing some errands, and trying to continue to promote the wrap because it was a very extraordinary product, and it still is today. We just don't talk about it very much anymore. And but that product is what made me wealthy. That product bought Blair's freedom. That product put just about everybody who is in the Millionaires Club because of that product. And so I don't ever want you to lose the value of that wrap. The wrap still works, you guys. And so I know we're going to be having some exciting things happening next week. And what you should be doing right now, I mean, we were privileged to find out what the company's going to do for the Black Friday deals. And we can't share that with you and can't tell you anything about it, but y'all, get ready. You should be building your list right now. You should be in your Connect app, getting everybody in there, your prospects, your current loyal customers, your current distributors, ready to go when they announce what's going to happen for Black Friday. It's going to be November 27th, 28th, and 29th. And then on that Sunday, the 30th, there'll be another announcement. Nothing's going to happen on the 30th as far as any kind of a sale, but they will announce what's going to happen on Cyber Monday. And that we don't even know. Now, we don't know that. We know exactly what's going to happen on Black Friday. Y'all, it's going to be the biggest sale we've ever had, ever. So get ready for that, you guys. Be ready to send out your messages. But Cyber Monday, my understanding is, I think we're going to launch a new product. And, but I have no clue what it is. And I'm not even sure that that's what's going to happen. I'm just speculating. So, but you guys, I know that the pop-ups have been getting people excited. And you know what? I want to tell you, we've been doing pop-ups since day one. It's just been updated and packaged a little differently and put before us as a new way to do business. And I will tell you, it is a great way to do business. That's how Rusty and I have built our whole entire organization. We built all the way to ambassador with things like pop-ups. We called them wrap parties back in the day. But now they're called a pop-up. And I love that. I love that idea of just popping up a table just anywhere. You can do that in people's homes. You can do that in businesses. You can go to the gym. You can go to boutiques, little boutiques. You can go to nail salons, hair salons, and make it worth that. Whoever is in charge there, make it worth their while to let you come in and do that and promote their business. It's for you to promote them, and they're going to promote you. But don't overcomplicate it. You're just going to go in there and share some samples with their clientele that's coming in to go shopping. And in return, you're going to hopefully send some people to their place of business. Maybe you can get your team to come in and go shopping there. Get some of your team coming in. But don't overcomplicate it. I know that everybody went and ordered on Amazon. They got so excited and they were trying to order all the stuff, and it's gone. It's out of stock. Well, it's okay. When it works, does something, it really impacts whatever they're doing, whatever they're promoting, whatever they're saying, this is the thing to do. Well, we go over there and we do it, and we do it big, and we end up running out of stock. People don't have any more. So it's okay. Get a picture of it. I posted a picture of the whole thing on my timeline, but go in there and look at what they've promoted and do something similar. It doesn't have to be the same exact thing. The main thing is that you do it and keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. That's just a like a model to go after. You do you, and you do the best you can do. Have fun. That's the main thing, is you need to have fun with it. And, get your teams involved. And, right now we're going to be busy for the next couple of weeks, but then you know what? Things are going to slow down, and I'll just tell you, they will, because people are already getting into holiday mode. So don't be disappointed if you can't get anything happening, but you should be able to continue to talk about the products and get people excited about eating, all the holiday stuff and being able to have the carb control. So, if you can't get somebody that's interested in wanting to be a distributor and become a business owner right now, that's okay. Keep talking customers, and then you can get these new people excited for the first of the year, because then that's when our business is going to really just explode. Always does. So, I just want you to know that in the 14 and a half years that I've been involved with this, nothing has changed as far as the seasons. As far as busy times, slow down times, busy times, slow down times, that has always stayed pretty consistent. But now, is it a busy time for you, or is it a slow down time for you? It doesn't have to be a slow down time for you. Just because that's what typically happens, it doesn't have to be. And so, because we have products that are going to keep us in, viable throughout the holidays. TFX, Fat Fighters, Confianza, wraps, carb control, hydrate. People are having parties, and they're over imbibing or indulging in alcoholic beverages, and it's a bounce back buddy. So we do have products that you should be talking about that's going to help people during their holiday indulgence. Call it that, holiday indulgence. We got the product for that.
Mel, I got some girls here in Carolina started doing wrap parties again, and they got excited again because they started using the wrap. They started using the fun and gel and the wrap, and they got all excited because of results driven. And you and I used to do wrap parties every day somewhere in the world, and sometimes 2 or 3 in a day if we could schedule power lunches with the ladies. But to piggyback off of what you said with the notes I just took, as people will be just as excited as you are right through the holidays, this does not have to slow down. It'll slow to the pace that you slow to the pace. And if you're still really excited about your future, we want to have the New Year's resolutions. Resolute means that we're going to attack it. We're not going to have a New Year's wish. That's what everybody's done your whole life. We want to resolute, because the rest of this year is going to be strong, but next year is where you make your break for freedom and you set yourself to create that legendary legacy. Would you agree with that, Melanie?
I totally agree with that. We've got, it's all right here. It's all in how you talk to yourself. If you're telling yourself that nobody wants this, guess what? Nobody's going to want it. But if you're telling yourself, oh my gosh, I can't go anywhere, that people are not stopping me and saying, what is that crazy wrap? Because you're still wearing your It Works gear. Earlier today I was wearing, it's one of the older shirts, but it said crazy wrap thing. And I had somebody say, what does that mean? What is a crazy wrap thing? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. And I handed her my card, and we stood there and had a conversation. And so, if you believe that this is going to be the busiest time for you, guess what? It's going to be the busiest time for you. And you got to look for opportunity. You've got to be proactive in saying, I've got products that you guys cannot live without this holiday season. If you're concerned about gaining weight over the holidays, I got carb control. I got TFX. I got wraps. There's going to be parties. There's going to be Christmas parties. There's going to be New Year's parties. I'm telling y'all, the wraps are magical. They work. They really work. And you just have to get the knowledge that you need in order to promote them, in order to tell people about it, and get them excited about trying one of those wraps. Y'all, that's a big money maker. I mean, we can sell samples, and we can do the samples and everything, and that'll put some money in your pocket. But there's nothing like $20 bills just boom, 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 boom when you're selling wraps to people. And now's the time to get that excitement back out again. Wraps, facials, our new Beauty Works products. Y'all, have you seen everybody's before and after picture on Beauty Works? I mean, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at what it does. And, I'm just still so super excited that Luis Maharis, who is the formulator of that, he is the genius behind it. And anything Luis puts out is, it is quality. It is the best of the best. And, I've had people who are estheticians or whatever that are so impressed with Beauty Works, how simple it is, how easy it is to follow the system of it, and how affordable it is. I've seen estheticians that promote, because they have to promote a different line because that's what their salon is doing or whatever, that won't use that skincare, but would rather use Beauty Works because they get better results with it. So, you guys have everything you need in order to make this a successful holiday season for you. So,
Melody, in the early days, I know you'd bring caravans of people from Tennessee, like a 7-hour trip to fill up these hotel rooms in North Carolina. You guys, it'd be 400 and 500 people show up. Melody would have at least a third that traveled in caravans. And we would have so much fun at the after parties in the big hotel suites, what they wouldn't really big hotel suites, like double rooms. And we would just enjoy ourselves and just the fellowship. But Melody, would you tell them exactly how you paid for your first really nice car?
Wrap cash, baby. Wrap cash. I wrapped so many people in a 2-year time frame, you guys. 2 years doing expos, wrap parties, one-on-ones. And I used to have just cash just falling out of my purse. I'm one of these, I keep my purse, I don't ever close it up. Zipper's always open. And literally, y'all, I had cash just sticking up out of my purse. And I realized I needed to get a safe. Seriously. I had to get a safe because I had so much money. And I put all my cash in the safe. We could do a show on a weekend and make 2,000, 3,000 cash, easy, with wraps, wrap cash. And in 2 years' time, from June 2005 to May 2007, I had enough wrap cash in my safe to go and buy a brand new 2007 ES350 Lexus with cash from wrap cash. And those cars weren't cheap. Back then it was, I don't know, like $36,000 for that car. Yeah. And I did that with cash, you guys. It was the funnest thing ever. And so there's money to be made. And you have products that make money. You just got to get excited about them. You got to be telling people about them. You got to open your mouth about them. And, as you're out and about during this holiday season, you better be having some cards on you and keep some wraps on you and all. Talk to people. What's the worst that can happen is they say, "Who are you? Don't talk to me." Well, is that really going to happen? Probably not. They're going to say, they might think you're a little weird, but then before the end of the conversation, they're going to be your best friend. You just got to be bold. You just got to decide, I'm doing this for my family. Whatever it is, your reason for doing this business, you've got to define that clearly. If you don't know why you're really doing this, guess what? Every excuse will stop you. You have to have that clear vision of why you're doing this. What is it that's driving you? And then you got to get rid of the fear, because the fear will hold you back and will keep you broke. And so you got to overcome that fear. And the only way I know to overcome the fear is just get out and do it. Don't worry about what anybody thinks. You just do it and watch what happens.
Well, Melody, I bet you one thing, if they would went to work like the early days where we were doing 5 and 6 nights a week, 5 and 6 rap parties somewhere where there was 2 people, Robin's had as many as 60 people show up in a school teachers event, and cash on the table looked like we were selling, having gambling or something. If you made up your mind right now, you're going to pay for a brand new car in the next little bit, you can do it with rap cash. And Melody, correct me if I'm wrong, and it will not hurt my feelings. If people got as excited as we were in the early days to get that type of exposure for who we are, they're going to buy you. And they'll buy you when you believe in your story. When you believe in your story, if you started having rap parties, and some girls around here are proving it's working, again, they just got excited about their own results. And the results were amazing. And I've had them to send the pictures into corporate to get the before and afters approved. And if you get it excited, people are going to buy you and they're going to get excited with you. But I challenge you. You want to pay for Christmas with cash? No joke. I think you'll be put in a position where you can have some rap parties the last part of this month, the first part of next month, and you pay cash for Christmas. And I remember when Melody first rolled to North Carolina with that brand new car, we was actually like, oh my God, this is a Lexus that the rap cash paid for. And she had an array of women. It looked like a flock of birds just around that car admiring it. But you know how Melody done it? You know, she and I talked periodically, but she was always working. She was always engaged. She was always taking the necessary action because she had always elevated her dream. Every time I heard Melody speak, her dream went to the next level, and she'd do more rap parties. And then that excitement started duplicating through the organization, which has built a billion-dollar empire. And that's not a joke. If you see the house Melody lives in, it's a castle. And now that $36,000 car that she bought then with cash won't even buy the door on the car she drives now. And they're just amazing. I about got lost in Melody's house, and I went up to the star room, and I sit down in the recliner, and I almost went to sleep in her house up in the star room, gazing at the stars with this magical chair that gave me the best massage I'd ever had. But you know what? It's all about the dream. I remember she and Blair and I and Robin, we'd get together back in the early days at AHA. And we would talk about where we were going to go and what we're going to do. And we had the dream, and we kept that dream motivated. But we went out and we took the necessary actions to go make it happen. And I promise you, rap cash and the raps, they're not old. They're not inundated. People still love it. They still give you this. They actually give you better results than we got back then because they're a product now. And if you create your own story, if you create your story with the raps, and you start to utilize all the other products you talked about, plus probably something might happen at the end of the month, you will not have a slow December. You'll stay Christmas Eve off. You'll say, thank you, Jesus, for the meal on Christmas Day. You'll throw out the gifts and you get right back out and you'll go back to work. It's going to be determined how big is your dream and what are you willing to do for the dream and what is the actions you're willing to take. You got to stop talking action and start taking action. And when you start taking that action, anybody can make an excuse about why you are, where you are. You can blame it on your religion. You can bring it on your short, you're tall, you're fat, you're skinny. Are you black, you're white, you're yellow, you're brown. You can blame it on anything you want to. Those are nothing more than just social learned behavior excuses just to sit in your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. How in the holy hell is that working for you now? Comfort, I've never liked comfort, Melody. I know you don't. And I've been all over the world with Melody. We've had a lot of fun in a lot of places. But if it was not for these raps that laid the foundation for this company, we wouldn't be on the Zoom, and we might be on it, but we wouldn't be talking about this. In every fiber in my being, between she and I, I've been here going on the 18 years, she's been here almost 15. I've never had another check from another source other than my money making money for me, other than it works well. I don't need it. And you know what? If we can do it, so can you. We paved the way. I remember Melody, she'd be off in Puerto Rico. She'd be places she was in Puerto Rico the night she went ambassador. And man, we was just I had Linda Wilson here, and we were celebrating Linda Wilson. She and I and Terry were going through the mountains of Virginia when it happened, and we were so excited for Melody. She's the first. And you know what? We've been setting that pace ever since. And if it had not been for that, and a couple people out there just hitting it, you guys wouldn't be here. And what I'm telling you, you're at the right place at the right time, and you have so much more advantage than she and I had. But you got to build that dream, get that dream back up, start creating your story, because people are going to buy you before they buy It Works, buy any product, or they buy a bicycle. They're going to buy you, or they're going to buy your excitement. And if you're excited, people get excitement, because the excitement, Melody, would you agree that it's contagious? Would you agree with
Oh,
it?
for sure. For sure. I don't know how many things I've bought from people just because I liked them. Whether I needed it or not, I just loved that person I just met. And if they're selling, when they're selling something, I'll buy it because I liked them. I've done that so many times, and I didn't need that product. I didn't really want that product, but I would buy it because I liked that person and I wanted to bless that person. And, there are more people out there like me that will do that. And if they like you, it's not going to be a sale for, that you have to do. It's going to be, well, what do you got? Show me what you got. And you just be laughing and having a good time, enjoying. When you can fill a need and people like you, they're going to buy. This book right here, Building a Story Brand, is really such a good book, you guys, about you don't have to go with all the fluff. You find their need and you fill it. That's what they care about. And if they like you, they're going to buy from you. But you've got to have that. You got to have that belief in yourself. You've got to talk to yourself. Your self-talk has got to be, good. You got to be telling yourself that you're amazing, that you have, that people just love being around you. Tell yourself that in the mirror. Look in the mirror and say, people love me. They just love me. And you know what happens? They will love you because your body, your subconscious mind, not your body, your subconscious mind will start acting and doing things in order that people go, I just love her. It doesn't matter if you've never felt lovable or you've never felt like that you have anything special to offer to people. None of that matters. If you believe, this is where it gets really, really powerful, because see, we are daughters and sons of the Most High God.
Amen.
And He doesn't make any junk. And the minute we start putting ourselves down and thinking nobody likes us, nobody wants to be around us, I'm going to go eat worms or whatever, you're pretty much kind of slapping God in the face, because He created you. He didn't make any junk. And if He is for you, who can be against you? And that includes yourself. So you've got to get your self-talk into how much you are fun to be around, that people love to be with you, that they think you're funny, that they just want your products, that they are, for whatever reason, they just can't put a finger on it, but that they just know they enjoy being around you. And for whatever reason, you just want to be around that person. So, you create that by talking to yourself, by getting in front of the mirror and telling good things about yourself. And you thank God every day for the people that He's going to put into your path, the divine appointments, because they're there, you guys. There are people already picked out for you, for your team, that are just waiting to come on board with you. They don't even know it yet, but they're waiting for you because they've been praying or whatever for something to come into their life, for an opportunity, for a product, something that's going to help them with their health, something that's going to help them with their finances. And we have that. And they're already picked out. God already has them, but He's not going to just hand them to you. he'll open the door. He's going to create the path that you're on, that you're going to walk into that store and there's that person going to be. But if you don't speak up and you don't say anything, you know what? You're missing out. But if you're praying every day for God to make that divine appointment and that divine connection for you, he's going to speak to you in that still small little voice that says, give that person a card. And you're going to argue with him and you're going to go, oh, I don't know. I'm embarrassed. What are they going to think? And that voice is going to say, just do it. Give them a card. And you're going to fight and you're going to go, no, I don't want to. Give that person a card. And if you'll just give in to that and say, okay. And then you go to that person, you go, you're going to think I'm kind of strange or whatever, but I just really feel like I'm supposed to give you my card. If you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. Blame it on strange things and all. Or you can say, find something to compliment about that person sincerely and open the door. That's all you got to do is open your mouth. God will do the rest. And you just have to be ready. You just have to be prepared when you pray like that every day. So try me on that. Test me on that. And tell me it don't work. It does work. You've got to set the intention. And, I've always heard many, many years, you got to pray like everything depends on God, but you got to work like everything depends on you. And all, because if you'll just do the work, he will bring the blessing. He will bring the harvest. And it may not be where you're working over here. It may be coming from over here. But because you put the work in over here, he's going to bless you over here. So it's not our job to question. It's just our job to open our mouths. And if we can do that, God's going to put the right people in your path. And it's so important to write down. If you guys haven't done your vision board or whatever, now's the time to be doing that. Right now, during the holidays. Think about what it is that you really want. Because Habakkuk 2:2, chapter 2, verse 2, talks about you have to make your vision plain. You have to write it down. You have to make it plain. And it doesn't mean just thinking about it in your head. I mean, really write it down, what it is you want. Sit down and be quiet with yourself and find out, what do I really want? Why am I really doing this? And no dream is too big. No dream. And then I would say one more thing that you need to do for this next year coming is think of your word. What is your word for 2020? Is it unstoppable? Is it fearless? Is it loved? Is it excited? Whatever that word is, you need to think about what your word is for 2020. And you hang on to that word. And I would say even get you something that you can make, a little bracelet or whatever, and put it on there. Make one. You can get whatever and make something. Get those little beads that have letters and make a little bracelet, just something. And have that word all year long. And determine what that word is. And then go look up what that word means. And you become that word for 2020. And you'll just be surprised at what the doors that are going to open for you when you start believing in you and you start just going for it. If you don't believe in you, do it anyway. And then watch God bless you because you did it anyway. Believe in him. If you can't believe in yourself, you believe in him because he works through you. Okay. So always, I'm looking here, Alonda saying, give them a card no matter what. You're probably going to think I'm strange, but I just have to give you my card. You pray like it all depends on God, but you work like it all depends on you. Open your mouth and speak. You got to speak. So true. If you keep your mouth shut, then guess what? It's going to pass you right by. Your next rock star probably walked right past you. And especially if you heard that little voice that said, talk to that person. Because I'm telling you, God's in this business with all of us, you guys. He has picked out you before you were ever born. He gave you an assignment. And I truly believe I'm walking in my assignment through this business vehicle of It Works. This ain't about Blair and Mel making money and just living the life. This is about the people that we've impacted. And when you can really get that deep down in your heart, then there really should be no excuse. It doesn't matter if you're afraid. You do it anyway. Doesn't matter if you don't have confidence. You do it anyway. But you got to come to that realization yourself that you have a purpose. And God will show you, you guys. He will show you by blessing you with the people if you will open your heart up and say, okay, Lord, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it without, confidence. I'm not confident. I'm not, eloquent of speech or whatever. But you know what? God uses those kinds of people to do extraordinary things. And I look at Blair and I see, if I were to just look at the reality of it, I would have to laugh at the, I don't know the word. Just how God uses the foolish things to confound the wise. Amen. And Blair and I were definitely, if you had known us back in the day, you would have been scratching your head today going, how'd they ever get to where they are today? Seriously. And I'm not saying that to say that we were, stupid people, but man, we weren't doing right things. We weren't living right. We weren't, we were just kind of messed up. But we had a dream and we started learning and we started growing and we got a hold of books and tapes and started changing who we were. My goodness, Blair especially, I wasn't as off the path as he was, but bless his heart. That boy was a dope smoking hippie, and he was in high school. I knew him in high school. Now I would have never dated him in high school because he was a dope smoking hippie, and I was a band buddy. And we're talking about late 60s, early 70s, and so I didn't dare hang around somebody like that because then I would have been accused of doing that same thing. And we just didn't do that back in that day, or I didn't. I was a goody two-shoes. The worst I ever did was drink cherry vodka and smoke a cigarette, So, but he, after high school, he got into some really heavy stuff and he got into the bad stuff. And I will tell you, that man died on 5 different occasions from overdosing on heroin and cocaine. 5 times. Tell me God doesn't have a plan for his life. So whatever you've been through, whatever it is, God has a plan for your life and he can use you. And I don't know if y'all have ever heard Blair speak, but when he speaks, he touches people. So when, God had a plan for him and he had a plan for me and all. And so he has a plan for you too. And you just can't ever question that. Why are you here? If he doesn't have a plan for you, why are you even here? So you have to look at the reality of it. You're here because there's a reason for it. You weren't just born into this world for no reason. You were here to do something. And I truly believe if you're in It Works and you're doing something with this and you want to do big things with this, then this is what you were born to do. Yes, maybe you were born to be a mom and a wife or husband or, a dad or whatever, but you were born to do something great. There's a purpose for your life outside of the normal things that we do in life. Okay, so you got to get a handle on that, and you have to just embrace it and say, okay, Lord, here I am. Use me. Because the minute you open your mouth, he will use you. And whether that person is going to be your next customer or your next distributor, it doesn't matter. God knows who it is. And if they're not supposed to be with you at all, then you gotta respect that too. Because God probably just saved you a lot of heartache and agony over somebody that you didn't need coming into your life right now. So you just do the work and God will bless it.